Hello, Chancellor. We're in the temporal zone, and the legends are on the bridge.
Hello, and welcome to DC FANDOM. My name is Chancellor Agard, and I'm with Entertainment Weekly, and this is DC's Legends of Tomorrow panel.
Stalin, Caligula, if they get out, they'll destroy the city.
Okay, got any ideas, Cap?
Just a lot of bad ones. Let's go save the world.
First off, we have Katie Lotz, who plays Wave Rider Co-Captain and the White Canary, Sarah Lance. Nick Zana, who plays Super Historian, Nate Haywood. Kala Ash, who plays futuristic social media influencer and air totem wielder, Zari Tarazi. Jess McCallan, who plays Wave Rider Co-Captain and serial killer podcast host, Ava Sharp. Matt Ryan, who plays self-proclaimed nasty piece of work, John Constantine. Gideon herself, Amy Louise Pemberton. Cheyenne Sobian, who plays the bud-loving air totem wielder, Barad Tarazi. Also, Olivia Swan, who plays Astrologue. Also joining us, we have the producers, executive producer Phil Klemmer, executive producer Keto Shimizu, and executive producer Grania Godfrey. How are you guys doing?
Good job, Chance. That was a lot.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
Good panel, guys.
We actually have a blooper reel clip that I will toss to now.
Now, can we kill them?
Questionable.
Sorry, I'm just gonna... Oh, that's your own hair. I gotta pull it.
Wait, one sec, just... Yeah.
It's good of it. Let's go.
Is this thing on?
Oh, shit.
Take this. Oh.
No, like is that yours or mine?
Hold, please. My phone is talking to me. Let's do that again.
Hello? Yeah, no, I'm doing a scene. It's all right. I'll give you a call back in a bit, yeah?
Wait, give him your camera. Give him your camera, then he can take it.
Great. Now we can do the scene.
That was wrong. That's okay. This seems
Just
so
pick up
hard.
the end.
You almost just broke my nose.
It's like here. Wait, focus. There it is.
Yup. Bah.
Way too much.
You're on your own. Figure it out.
You did not nail that one.
Here I am. I'm getting married. It's great.
They're gonna do it.
Get out of the shot! Nuggets done.
Gideon, run! Save yourself! Going to hell generated a lot of anxiety.
Donna, come.
Stay.
Oh, we're not making this next.
No late night snacks for you, Gary Jr. Squared. No late night snacks for you.
We're leaving.
And then we all turned into a giant beebo and it exploded!
CGI movie exploding and be metal everywhere and spark.
Guys, I'm trying to work. Oh, hey, Craig. Just second unit.
Smile, people!
You know, sometimes what happens on this show really would be hard for an audience to follow.
Pick Legends. Nominate us for an Emmy.
Okay.
It's not easy doing it twice.
It's not.
No, it's not. No. And this is why I don't act. I feel like this is a weird thing that we're doing. It's virtual as opposed to in a big convention hall because of everything that's going on. I'm curious, what do you guys think the Legends would be doing right now in their own respective quarantines?
Oh, God.
I think John will be doing what he's always doing, which is having a whiskey and trying not to have a cigarette because he's kind of kicked that habit. So he'd probably just be having a whiskey saying, hey, let the world go by.
I would imagine Nate's falling in love with somebody else and then...
Well, then break the heart.
Virtual romance?
I think Zari's probably like conquered TikTok. TikTok.
Berrod probably would have been the #1 League of Legends player in the world.
I reckon Astra's just lounging around on like a fur rug somewhere. Just rolling in money.
but she managed to. Some unwilling soul.
I think Gideon would be getting everyone to do like a Trivial Pursuit, but no one's interested. She's like, number one, question A, guys, like no one cares.
Before talking about season 6, I do want to talk a bit about season 5, which was a major season for the show in many ways. I want to start with Katie. You made your directorial debut this season. What was that experience like for you? What was it like directing your castmates?
They were awesome. It was so much fun. I mean, on so many levels, I learned so much, and it was such a good experience to be able to kind of bond with the crew on that side and get a look under the covers. And the cast was amazing. We had so much fun. I think, after so many years of building rapport with each other, that it made it easier, of course, to kind of, and hopefully, I mean, everybody was really nice. Nobody was a jerk or anything, except for maybe Matt. Just kidding.
Yeah, Matt. And with that, I mean, also, I feel like this season 5 for Sarah and Ava was really about them sort of learning how to co-captain the Wave Rider. I'm curious, though, if this were any other show, if they weren't constantly sort of fighting monsters or aberrations, what do you think, like, what is sort of Sarah and Ava's, like, 5-year plan? Like, where do you see them heading towards?
Ava's probably got a very specific 5-year plan. I'm not sure about Sarah. She's kind of just, trying to domesticate her.
Yeah, Sarah takes a day at a time, I think. She's never been one to have the luxury of planning too far into the future. So I think, for her, it's like she's in the moment always.
In season 5, we had 2 newcomers, Cheyenne and Olivia. What was it like for you guys to sort of step onto a show that's 5 seasons in? What surprised you the most about being on Legends in your first year?
How much fun everyone was having. I kind of walked on and I was like, right, I have to be so on it, and I have to know everything, and everyone's going to be, obviously everyone's professional. This isn't me saying that no one is, but it's just like, it was so easygoing, and I think I expected to be proper military, and I got very stressed about that, but it was the opposite. Everyone was so chilled and so welcoming and so lovely.
I was definitely nervous going into it, but pretty quickly I was like, oh, okay, this is, it's pretty relaxed and everyone's super chill. So
I mean, Sean, you had the added challenge of having to come in and pretend like you'd already been there for 3 seasons. How did you sort of make that work for yourself?
I just did it, I tried to chat as much as I could with everyone while, there's a lot of downtime on set, and just get to know everybody here and there, and then, bring in what you can when we're doing this scene, and just keeping it relaxed.
Well, Nick, actually, I wasn't asking you, for you and Cheyenne, I mean, did you guys, because Nate and Barada are supposed to be best buds in this season, I mean, did you guys do anything to build that relationship? You guys talk, I guess, what do you guys sort of talk about their friendship?
Shy and I got on quick. And I knew what he was coming into, the same way I knew Maddie and Olivia what they were coming into, and that's just something that's pre-established, and that's intimidating because I was a new guy on a lot of shows. So I know what it's like to walk in to not knowing everybody. Get out of your head and just be here with us. I know you're nervous because there's 7 people in the room. Even when Maddie did his first scene with us, he had to walk in and talk to 8 of us, talk at 8 of us, and then hit on Wentworth on his way out. So it was a really big, rough
standard
piece. And I feel that, and I wanted Shy not to have that, and let him know as soon as possible that hey man, just be here with us because we're all here with each other, and that's just kind of the way our magic works on the floor.
He did great at that. I remember we had a conversation day 1, and he was like, by day 4, you'll be feeling good. And he was exactly right. Day 4, I was like, I feel like I've been here the whole time. This is great. So he nailed it.
Amy, you're in a unique position where you're voicing Gideon, and I think you appear about once a season physically on screen. I mean, what's that experience like for you, sort of doing a lot of your work in a sound booth as opposed to being on the set with the cast that much?
It is always really interesting to come into it from the other side, but I feel like I see you all the time anyway when I'm dropping the voice in, and I've known Matt from before this, so everyone's always super welcoming, and from my little booth in LA.
I'm curious, when you appear on screen as Gideon, I think because often it's usually inside someone's mind, or they're hallucinating, except for in the Legends of Tomorrow episode where hallucination. But I'm curious, when you play that, do you play it as how you envision Gideon yourself, or how you think the character you're playing opposite with envisions, sees her?
Well, I mean, especially with the last one with Gary, we played that a lot because I think he sees her quite Mary Poppins-esque, hence do, and everything was a bit, oh no, should have just done the whole thing. But yeah, so there's definitely an element to that, and I love everything that's always written. Always love what you guys write. It's amazing. So mostly it's been that, yeah.
I mean, this season you introduced a new version of Zari 2.0. And now as of the end of the season, you're continuing on as 2.0. How do you feel about sort of Zari 2.0 becoming the sort of permanent member on the Wave Rider?
I honestly, I do have mixed feelings about it because I really do love both Zari 1.0 and 2.0. So yeah, I was surprised how sort of genuinely sad I was shooting that last episode, and I had these like very split personality moments where I would be like mad at my other self shooting scenes. I would like just be like really angry at 2.0 or vice versa. So yeah, I mean, it's sort of a mixed bag. I'm excited about developing 2.0 further. But yeah, it was sad. It was sad to say goodbye to 1.0.
You're on the Wave Rider with Berat. I mean, what are I guess for both you and Shai, I mean, what are you most looking forward to sort of exploring about their sibling dynamic that you didn't get a chance to do in season 5?
Yeah, I mean, even though like, we established this brother-sister relationship, we didn't actually get so much time to get in there before he died and came back to life. So yeah, I mean, I'm sort of interested in, now that like the walls are a little bit down between the two of them, what that, I still think, I mean, I sort of hope it's going to be still a little bit antagonistic brother-sistery, and I imagine the writers are going in that direction.
Yeah, like some childhood stuff I think would be really interesting, like exploring like what it was like growing up together, Berat constantly being in the shadow of his older sister who just was amazing at everything. And
even though mom and dad like
reading our room notes.
Yeah. I just know I can feel it.
Yeah.
There was a little sister because we had Laurel on early on in the season. Yeah. So there's a little bit, but not nearly as in depth as we get.
Just as well, like last season, when in lots of the episodes when Tala was playing 1.0 and 2.0, literally it'd be like, okay, everybody, you can take a little break now, take 5, and she'd be like going to the thing, changing into the other one, coming back, and like literally like driving the whole day.
There's a moment in the room where we were discussing, like, should we just keep them both forever? Do you remember? And then we were really having these discussions, and we're like, we're going to kill the crew. We're going to kill Tala. And there was a moment where
love it though, guys. I do love it.
I know.
I'm ready, but yes, I don't want the crew or any of you to hate me. So yeah.
We'll find a compromise.
For the writers, can you sort of shed a bit more light on what you guys have in store for these two siblings in season 6?
We have a great episode, I think it's number 2 actually, where we really get into exactly what it was like for you, Behrad, to grow up in the shadow of your sister and, having to establish sort of your own thing. And then, you're put into a time period and an undercover identity where you kind of get to do that thing. And she's the outsider, and she's the one who's flummoxed and doesn't know what's going on. And you kind of have to teach her a thing or two. And it's like, it's a really fun, opportunity for us to tell a story that is just about the sibling dynamic without the, the fraughtness of, life or death, or, which one are you, or, trying to bring someone back to life. So this is a season where we're incredibly excited about diving more into the sibling dynamic.
Before we go into season 6, I have a few more questions. I mean, Matt, the season ended with Constantine getting his soul back. Because for you, how are you sort of feeling about?
Great, man. I've lockdown has been the biggest blessing in. I've come home. I've gathered my soul as Constantine. He's happy. I'm happy. That's it. Going on that journey with the astrologue story is such a huge part of the whole Constantine canon in the comic books and in the original show, and then what we've done with it on Legends and what the guys have written, and to kind of get to a place where that is wrapped up is really, really satisfying, and John is happy, which kind of gives me fear. a quicking fear in my boots because, how long does John stay happy for?
I mean, the other thing too is like Astra will be living with Constantine in his mansion. I mean, I guess for both Olivia and Matt, what are you both sort of looking forward to exploring about their dynamic?
If you kind of put Astra and John living together peacefully, I feel like maybe isn't gonna happen. So I think that it would be really fun to see them trying to cohabitate day in, day out, which is something that is it gonna be possible? I don't know.
I love the idea of John being unhappy about him being happy.
Season 5 featured, just off the top of my head, so many really fun and interesting episodes. Mortal Kombat, the one where we're trapped on TV, Mr. Parker's cul-de-sac. For all of you, what were some of your favorite moments from this past season?
The episode where we're trapped on TV is my favorite.
Yeah, I think that's mine as well.
Yeah.
It's an amazing episode. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We all attacked that with a very happy heart, and we all saw what it was going to look like while working to make it, and that kind of drove us through the hard part of making that episode.
It was really cool to become different characters, different universe. It's for doing Star Trek, our old version of Star Trek. We had so much fun doing that.
And seeing Jess, with the ears, and Katie doing, William Shatner. I mean, I think there were moments, weren't there, Nick, when we were sitting in the trailer and we were like, this is the most bonkers, ambitious episode that has ever been done on the show. It was great to kind of to pull it off and really good fun.
It should be noted William Shatner tweeted Katie after that episode aired.
Really? Did he?
Yeah, he did.
No way.
Get some harsh
criticism
of my impersonation.
Guggenheim directed that episode, and I remember on the day being like, okay, we were doing a little Spock Shatner throwback fun. Okay, we'll do a little Sarah and Ava as Spock and Shatner. And Mark kept pushing us to do in rehearsal more. I want the cadence more. And Katie and I were ran before the take and just started deep character study, YouTube Googling how William Shatner talks and how to do the cadence and how to do more. I lowered my register and my voice. I mean, it was insane. It was ridiculous.
Season 5 ended with Sarah being getting abducted by aliens. The writers, what's in store for Sarah in season 6?
Well, I don't know if we want to spoil too much, but I'll say with Sarah away, it's the kids kind of go crazy. I feel like Sarah's kind of one of the grounding influences on the show. The other might be Zari 1.0, but because she's in a totem, everyone's going a little bonkers in her absence. So we really looked at this season in terms of what would it do to people to have Sarah missing.
Yeah, and I think, Ava obviously would be a worthy replacement, but she obviously takes Sarah's absence the hardest, and she starts to, get a little bit frayed around the edges as well. So it leaves a bit of a power vacuum, which, unlikely people have to step up to fill.
Don't worry, we're not losing Sarah from this story. We will be tracking her adventure. Even as she is separated from the team.
This show is such an ensemble show. I mean, what has it been like for you guys to sort of write these episodes when you have one of the lead characters completely separate from the rest of the cast? How's it been like writing those stories and breaking those stories and finding that balance?
I mean, it's useful when we can just focus on a single character or a pair of characters. I mean, the trouble we get into is when we want to try to tell too many stories at once. And so every season we kind of resolve to pare it down and to try to simplify things. Believe it or not, simplicity is really kind of like a luxury on a show like ours that is so crazy and complicated. It's nice to slow down once in a while and to realize okay, yes, we'll get to that story eventually, but right now let's just try to focus on something that's a little more manageable in scale.
I think we're also, as a room, really proud of how much joy this show can bring. And especially right now, it feels like everyone needs to see this show. So it's fun to feel like we have a real purpose right now.
I feel like the writers on this show are very close. What has it been like having to break a season via Zoom and not being in the physical room together?
We all really miss each other, but especially in the early months of the pandemic when there was so much uncertainty and so many questions, it actually was a really great sort of grounding daily activity to have to check in with each other and to see each other's faces. This is going to be a season that will hopefully bring a lot of joy and hope to the people who watch it.
Mm-hmm. And the season, I know we're also getting a new legend this season. What can you guys tease about this new character that's coming on the Wave Rider?
She is a young Latinx woman from Texas who was kidnapped by aliens and is kind of got a thirst for vengeance. And so she's going to come up the ship, and she's not going to be the lovable losers that we normally have. She's going to be someone who is pretty tough and gives it to the other legends, and they're going to all have to react to her. And I think it's going to throw them off their feet a little bit.
If everyone joins the ship and is our best friends immediately, I mean, where's the story there? Like, you gotta earn that. You gotta earn your spot in the family,
There's a reason that so many characters have taken these kind of drastic turns. I mean, Jess came in as the straight woman at the Time Bureau, and then we realized, like, oh my God, we've got like Lucille Ball, like she could do comedy. So like, why are we making her do the serious stuff?
And this season's about aliens, and aliens are well-tried territory, both in the Arrowverse, also on TV. I mean, how are you guys trying to put your own spin on that? What does this season look like? How do aliens sort of change the game for the show? I guess, and challenge the theme in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, every season we try to go bigger and zanier, which is also interesting this season with trying to be safe and film during possible quarantines. But I feel like if any show can do it, the Legends can do it.
Yeah, we're trying to really lean into some genres, like alien genres, which is, that's not, Supergirl does their own version of aliens, and we're really trying to make it feel and look different. We're really, putting our own stamp on it.
Nate has endured just tons of loss over his few scenes on the show. His great-grandfather, his father, Amaya, Zari 1.0, Ray. What's in store for Nate in season 6? And is there sort of any hope for him, I guess, like on the horizon for him?
For everything that you just said, Chance, I mean, we're acknowledging that, it's been a tough run for Nate. And, as someone who always tries to be like the cool guy who puts his like positive spin on things, like we're going to be okay. It's going to be fine. It's getting harder and harder for him to do that.
Well, now it's time to move on to the true or false question/game. I'll read a statement, and you guys need to tell me if it's true or false. The first round is our Wave Rider round. First question. We have physically seen the character of Gideon 3 times over the course of the series. True or false?
It's once every season.
Once over the season, yes.
So it's false.
So, yeah. Amy, you'd know this one.
I was like, how many have I read? Oh, yeah.
Yes, actually 4 times. So next one, Neil McDonough, who played Damien Dark, once disappeared from set to coach his kid's soccer game. True or false?
True.
Totally true.
True.
That's cute. Say it's true.
Okay, this one.
What's the answer? Wait, what was the
true.
answer?
Oh, sorry, it's true. It's true. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's true.
It's true, yeah. DC's Legends of Tomorrow was originally planned to be an anthology series. True or false?
False.
True.
True.
Phil?
What's an anthology series?
False.
True.
True.
Yeah, Katie and Cheyenne were right. It was. That is true. And finally, for this round, Mr. Parker was just a random name that sounded nice. True or false?
True. It sounds like a true thing.
False, actually. Mr. Parker is named after Phil's assistant, Ian Parker.
Who knew?
Did Matt
Just say how much we all love the guy who played Mr. Parker. He's just like the most.
Brilliant!
It's just like
he's so great.
For season 1, the only British legend that wears a trench coat is John Constantine. True or false?
False.
False it is, yes, because there's also Rip. R.I.P. 2, symptoms of time travel include all of the following: nausea, vomiting, vertigo, temporary blindness, flatulence, and in rare instances, bleeding from the eyeballs. True or false?
True.
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 Sure.
True. That is true.
Actually, it's false. Flatulence is not a symptom of time travel.
Wouldn't the legends know?
Really?
I mean, the legends know best.
How do you know, Chancellor?
Fair. I'll give that one to you guys.
I think Ava can contest to that.
Okay, for season 2, George Lucas is responsible for the powers of 2 of the 8 legends in season 2. True or false?
Responsible?
Yeah.
False.
False.
I'd say true.
I'm sticking with true.
Because
It's weird.
He's doing lots of.
It's true.
You became a historian because of Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but I became a superhero because of a.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have been a superhero unless you're a historian.
Little vague.
Again, I'm reading what I was given.
There's a whole episode about it. Where when he decided not to finish film school, suddenly you became a yoga instructor, and what did Ray become?
Oh,
you guys both lost your powers.
That was fun.
Okay, season 3, and I think this is going to be an easy one. The team uses the totems to join their powers to become Elmo and defeat Malice in an epic Wild West showdown. True or false?
Malice. No, it is Malice. False.
Well, it's not Elmo.
No,
it's
Bebo. When Ava recruits Constantine to help with Sarah's possession, she finds him chasing a pig around the room. True or false?
True.
No, it was a chicken. It was a rooster.
Jess is right. Yeah. For season 4, so in a truly meta episode, the team is split into multiple timelines, very similar to TV shows, like Custodians of the Chronology, Sirens of Spacetime, The Fellowship of Tomorrow, Kittens of Meow Meow, and Puppets of Tomorrow. True or false?
No, there was no Kittens of Meow Meow, and the one before that as well, Legends of Meow Meow or something.
False. Chance.
That was an episode.
That's correct. Yeah. Fellowship of Tomorrow and Kittens of Meow Meow were not real things. Finally, for season 5, Ava Sharp's podcast on serial killers is called Slay Anything. True or false?
True, isn't it?
I don't think so, but that's a good name.
Is that the episode name?
That's the episode name.
It's false. And it's called Stabcast.
Stabcast.
Cisco brought his own dragon microphone when he performed in the season 5 finale. True or false?
True.
We have some fan questions that we've received from around the world, apparently. So from the first one, it comes from the Philippines. Legends has a lot of musical moments. Is a full-blown musical episode in the cards?
Yeah, why not? Anything's in the cards. We'll literally do anything.
Yeah.
Wait, does it mean that we don't have to write
We should
it?
name
That
our
seems
show that.
amazing. Like if we don't
No,
have
you
to,
still have to write
just a bunch
stuff. You
of
have to write little
songs.
interstitial. No, you got to have some interstitial things that then turn into songs. Remember?
That seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, like recitative, like speak singing.
Next question comes from Argentina for the cast, and I guess for the writers as well. How has DC's Legends of Tomorrow changed your lives?
I was an overnight success. I went from a nobody to a somebody. I flew first class for the first time. I got to meet all these incredible people. I got to meet Brandon. I told him the first day I worked with him, I was 12 years old when I saw Superman Returns. And now I'm here with you doing to see it. It's crazy.
For me, it's like, this is what's kept me playing Constantine and being able to explore that character in ways that I never thought I would ever.
Being together and doing these insane things allows me appreciation for the opportunity that I know is on the clock, like everything is on TV. And I just sort of I've never been in a position to where I've been aware of how special it is in real time.
This strange time that we're all going through, not to speak for you guys, but I think I love our show, but I miss our show so intensely right now. And I really hope I never take it for granted, but this time has really really made me appreciate it and really made me miss what we've built, really, because it doesn't happen. It takes time, I think, and it takes the right group of people, which like miraculously are assembled, season after season.
It makes you so grateful that we have professionals that like care so much about this show that they're willing to push themselves every episode, as if it's the last. It really is precious.
And final question for the writers: what ideas have you had that have been abandoned for one reason or another in terms of like storylines for the show?
We always wanted to get Katie to breakdance, like in the 80s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've never done that.
We're always just trying to crack each other up, and sometimes we get a little too outlandish. So sometimes we have to be reined back.
I think that's all the time we have. Thank you all for joining us for this. It's been really fun. For everyone watching, please remember that DC's Legend of Tomorrow, the complete 6th season, is available now on digital and drops on DVD and Blu-ray on September 22nd. And Legend of Tomorrow will be back for season 6 in mid-season 2021.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome to DC Fandom. My name is Leah Thompson, and you are watching the Stargirl panel. For those of you who may not know, I have a special, very special, heart connection to Stargirl as I directed episode 7, Shiv Part 1. So I am absolutely thrilled to join my friends, Jeff Johns and the whole cast to discuss the fantastic first season. We have with us today the creator, the everything, the EP, Jeff Johns, and the members of the new JSA Stargirl, Breck Bassinger, woohoo, Wildcat, Yvette Monreal, Dr. Midnight, Angelica Washington, our man, Camera Gelman, and our matriarch, keeping everyone honest, Barbara, played by Amy Smart. So great to see you guys.
Hey.
Wow.
What's up, fam?
So we're gonna play a little game because that's what we do here in COVID land, right? We play little games on Zoom meetings, right? So, Angelica, we're going to have to ask you to share your powers with us as we play a little game called Things. Dr. Midnight knows about me. We are all going to get on our goggles. Do you guys have goggles? We're going to get on our goggles. All right. And we're going to learn a few fun things that maybe only Dr. Midnight knew before. All right. Jeff, let's start with you.
Oh.
You're our fearless leader. What are 5 things that Dr. Midnight would know about you?
5 things. Okay, I'll try and keep these somewhat Stargirl related for fun. For those who've seen the show, thank you for watching the show very much. We all worked really hard on it, and we're really proud of it and excited that we're going on to season 2, which is awesome. One of the things you'll see in the first episode, if you haven't watched it, but you probably have, is Pat has this big boy keychain. And I actually, when I grew up in Detroit, there was a big boy on my street corner. So we used to walk. My dad would take all the kids there, and we just have ice cream and burgers and stuff. So it's a place I remember fondly. And moving out to LA, there's a big boy in Burbank. So big boy's kind of got a special meaning to me. Related to food, because I like food. I worked in a restaurant for 4 years in Michigan. And so when Pat cooks, a lot of what I what I enjoy about cooking. I love cooking. I gave Pat, I like that Pat cooks. I like that he's the cook of the house. I like the episode where Amy's freaking out because she can't get dinner ready for 8 people. And all the cars in the show, the Buick in there, all the cars in the pit stop, that all came from a love I learned to about cars from my very first boss, Dick Donner. So thanks, Dick. And originally when I wrote Stars and Stripes, #1, I had envisioned that Pat built a robot that he controlled remotely from the house, and he wasn't inside it. Someone told me, oh, they just did a robots and kids story somewhere. And so I said, oh, well, why don't I have Pat actually pilot the robot? And it changed the whole concept because Pat is with Courtney there. And I don't know, I don't think it would have worked nearly as well if I hadn't had Pat and Courtney in the same space, if he was back home remotely controlling the robot. So that was kind of a happy little accident. And then finally, Cindy, in the comic books, originally her father wasn't going to be Dragon King, but a villain named, for all the DC fans, a villain named Cobra. So those are things that Dr. Midnight knows.
That is awesome. That is really good.
Those are so cool. Those are great.
Yeah, I don't have great ones like that.
So now we have to go to Stargirl. Brett, what do you got?
Mine are a lot more concise. Dr. Midnight would know that Breck was a mathlete for 4 years, gold medalist. She likes to trick people into eating her amazing gluten-free baking. I also like cooking. She dreams of traveling to New Zealand. She recently found a coffee addiction while filming Stargirl, night shoots. And this is a fun little Stargirl fact. Stargirl and Breck were both seen on Earth for the first time in 1999. Year I was born, year Stargirl was first seen in a comic.
Same month, too. Same exact month, May.
See, it wasn't May 1999 because the comic book I have says June, so I wasn't
the comic books always have like the dates a little bit off because for the newsstand it was like take it off in June. I don't know exactly how it works, but it was released in May.
So May 1999, both Stargirl and I entered this Earth.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, it totally meant to be. I totally believe that stuff.
So Amy, we want to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
Yes. Well, I took it more personally for the most part. So Dr. Midnight knows that I'm an introvert and that most times I'd rather be reading a book at my house than at a party. Another one was I was a ballerina for 10 years.
Oh my gosh. That's going in an episode.
I was a ballerina. Another one is I have a doll eye. What does that mean? Just a doll eye.
Cool.
I am a certified Kundalini yoga teacher.
Cool.
Did not know that.
My last little trivia fact is my character Barbara is named after Jeff's real life mom, Barbara.
Aww.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, that is true.
Thanks, Dr. Midnight.
All right, Yvette.
Oh, hello. Okay, so my 5 fun facts that Dr. Midnight knows about me is that one of our first hangouts, mine, Breck, and Angelica's, was when I went apartment shopping with them. And it was so fun because it was the first time we were hanging out and it just was a bonding moment. Number 2, I randomly took a picture of the Wildcat comic online in 2014 and I sent that to you. Remember, Jeff?
Yeah.
And now I'm cast as her in 2000, years later. So that was kind of crazy. Number 3, the first time I learned about anyone being celiac was with you guys, with Breck and Cameron. So you guys taught me about that. Number 4, I was notoriously known on set and off set to have my phone, and that's because in high school I wanted to be an editor, and work in special effects. So I knew I always had to capture those moments so that I can edit it together, and later on it paid off, which it did. Totally paid off right?
Totally.
Okay.
You have the best videos of anyone.
They are great.
And thanks, guys. And number 5, Breck and I, towards the end of the season, we would go in the trailer and watch reality TV. Remember? Are You the One? I think that was a great bonding experience for us. So that's a random fact that you didn't know.
All right.
Wow.
Cameron,
Okay. Woo.
you're up.
Yes.
Woo!
Okay, 5 things that Dr. Midnight knows about me. The first one is that I plan to buy a camper trailer and drive to all 419 U.S. national parks in the course of this next decade in my 20s. And I have a little fund for it that Stargirl is helping pay for. Second, as a kid, I was always dressed as a superhero. And as a result, I was always getting injured because I was the world's biggest klutz. And my 7th and 8th birthday parties, I had superhero gymnastics parties. And the first year I was Batman and I ran into a balance beam and I had to get stitches. And the second year I was Spider-Man and I missed the foam pit off of a zip line and I fell on my face. So I left that year too. And both years they ate my cake still. My third, that's very sad. My third fact is that as a kid, I thought that Tarzan was a superhero, and Tarzan is my favorite superhero because I love swing sets more than anything. I am 100% sure I can talk to animals, and yeah, and I want to live in a treehouse in the jungle. So yeah, and that goes to my 4th, which is that I do want to travel the world making documentaries for animals with the specific effort of conservation. So that's super important to me and pairs with my Tarzan dream. And then my 5th is that I have never worked with anyone that had celiacs or type 1 diabetes. And I found such a magical partner and teammate in Breck. And that support was life-changing for me. So
Me too.
those are my 5.
Okay, so what does Dr. Midnight know about Dr. Midnight? Angelica.
Well, I feel like Dr. Midnight, actually I know Dr. Midnight knows everything because that's me. So we know all things, but some 5 fun facts that I love, things that some people may not know, but Breck and I actually got to live together the entire time of filming season 1 of Stargirl. And we'll do it again season 2 because we're so excited. Yay! Number 2, I actually bonded with Cam the most on set because we're both obsessed with Hamilton the musical, which now the world is like finally able to see. And we sing it all the time, like all day in our trailers on set, whenever. We know every word. I mean, don't like hold me to that, but we know a lot of the words and it's really great. That's my favorite thing ever. The third thing is when not filming on set of Stargirl on our days off or on weekends, I actually would color my hair often, usually with hair chalk. But right now I have like this like reddish pink thing. And I was actually inspired by Starfire. So I really, really wanted to, I just love her and love Titans. And so I was like, I'm going to color my hair like hers because she's awesome. And the last one to tell you is that my favorite thing to do with my cast ever, the one thing we do the most when not filming is eat.
Bar taco.
Yes.
Bar taco.
Love bar taco.
And that gluten-free place.
All of the
gluten-free place, Chica Bitty. All of them. But surprise, I did all my 5 fun facts. Leo, what does Dr. Midnight know about you?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
See. Well, Dr. Midnight would know that I love you all. You are amazing. This is an amazing cast, and it was such an amazing experience working with all of you. You work so hard. The show is so great. It's so uplifting, and I could get verklempt. I just had the best time. You were all so great. So I know that Dr. Midnight would know that about me. I love each and every one of you. Let me think. Let's see. I was a ballet dancer too, but I'm not a yoga teacher. And my nickname is Mini Pork.
Oh,
cool.
Don't know why. That's my nickname.
That's awesome.
Like the meat?
I don't know. It's just mini pork. And I have a tractor that's 35 years old that I can drive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I have I have 5 horses and 32 chickens, a rooster, 3 dogs, a bunch of really fat koi. They're really happy. And so every day I have to put the chickens away, and I almost kill myself because the coyotes to get them. So someday if you see me with a broken arm, it's because I'm trying to gather the chickens. I'm not a great chicken whisperer is my thing. But let's see, that's something. I'm the youngest of 5, and I like to paint and sing and direct and meet you all. So that was 5, right? Oh,
That was so good.
Great.
That was so
good. We're more organized.
That was great.
That was so good. That was so fun learning about you guys. We should do this more often.
I know.
So,
Do it.
now we're going to revisit one of the most intense moments from the epic last episode. Go.
My turn.
I don't have time for this.
Whoa, that was
so good.
Crazy.
So good.
Insane.
How did you do that?
That was crazy. How do you do that?
My favorite part is I don't have time for this. Love it.
How much strength left do you think you had, Rick, when you just
I know. I had 5 minutes.
Whoa.
Yeah. I had 5 minutes, and Pat's wife is in trouble. Amy's in trouble. And I'm like, go get your lady. I got this. I've got 5. That's how that goes.
So good.
Yeah.
I love seeing Grundy.
Yeah, Grundy's awesome. I got to give Andrew Orloff and Zoic props, the VFX team, and Kevin Struckman was there. But they just made such a cool Grundy. That's so true to the comic books. And Stripe looks awesome, and that fight was a lot of fun. You know, I never thought I'd be able to see a live action Stripe versus Solomon Grundy, but that was cool.
So cool.
Incredible.
Yep.
Incredible.
So cool. It's just amazing what you guys can do, and the actors with all their, commitment to the special effects is really sells everything.
Totally.
I mean, Breck had a whole thing with the staff. She had to learn how to make the staff come alive when it wasn't there.
It was like puppetry almost, but it was definitely a learning experience. How was it, Cam? Was this your first time fighting something that wasn't there?
Yeah. No, for sure. It was, I mean, I had a big green pickle. And that's, I had a big, because you didn't see that? Yeah, I had a big green pickle with a sad face on it. And that was my Grundy. So thankfully I had something to hit, and I had the amazing stunts team, and I had Ben Akrigg advising me on how to get power into these punches. But yeah, I had a big green pickle.
I always think there should be a special Emmy or Academy Award for trying to perform with a big green pickle. And
I think so too.
It's so much harder.
It's so much harder. And it was sad. It had a sad face. That distracted me, because I was like, it's clearly bummed out, and I'm hitting it. I wish it had an angry face,
I hope we get to see more of those epic battles in the next season. I'm sure we will. What do you think, Jeff? What do you
I'm excited for people to see more of Grundy. He's not gone just yet.
Ooh.
Cameron knows what we're gonna do with Grundy.
Oh, for sure.
We got
I'm super
cool story
excited.
ideas with Grundy coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well,
Yeah, everybody did such an amazing job, and you guys all did such a gorgeous job in the fight scene in the dungeon. Like watching every single person that we worked with show up in suits and like clash with each other. I think it's such a cool way for our show to end. Like everybody was so great.
I was screaming at the TV. It was so exciting.
I love it. On the edge of my seat, like every moment, like what's happening next? What's happening next? It's so good.
And it's such a treat to see it when it's finally done because it's so different than the actual experience of doing it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Totally.
That's one of the reasons I'm really excited about going back for season 2 because I feel like now I'll have a better picture. Like I know what strike fighting will look like because I've seen it.
Yeah, when you read the scripts and then you see it on TV, for me it's just so different. I'm like, wait, oh my god.
Did you guys see Jurassic World when at the end the two like T-Rexes fight each other?
Yeah.
That's what this fight felt like. Like
yeah.
That epic. Like the two biggest, craziest like digital characters in the show have an entire sequence, and it's so like larger than life, and then you like have Pat in the cockpit and all of us in there. Like it's just such a masterpiece of a scene, like of a sequence.
Talk about season 2.
Yeah, where does it go, Jeff? Where does it happen? Tell us.
Well, I think one of the important things at the end of season 1 is when we introduce Eclipso. That's very important.
Whoa.
Absolutely. Jeff, I know what the people want to know. Will I have Hootie season 2?
I love Hootie. I love that Hootie's waiting for Dr. Midnight all this whole time. We will definitely be talking about Hootie at some point. So
we're going to have some fan questions, all right? So this is from Daniel. Who would win a fight, the old JSA or the new JSA? Jeff, I think you should answer this. What do you think?
That's it'd be weird to see them fight. So, but it all depends who. This is a cop out answer, but it's the truth. It depends who's on the team. Like, I would hate to see this. I think that's a much bigger question. I think the question is, would they ever fight and why?
What if it was the original, like, you know how it's Wildcat, Hourman, Dr. Midnight, and
Wildcat
Stargirl.
versus Wildcat, Hourman versus Hourman.
That'd be so cool.
I already know who would win.
That sounds really cool.
I would never fight Chuck a day in my life.
No.
Yeah, I know. I thought Dr. Midnight's we just talk. They talk.
See who can out-talk each other.
I just assume that the younger generation would be faster and more limber. I assume that like the older peeps are sore and their joints hurt, and so
they have experience.
You know,
I would assume. I would know. I think your dad might kick your ass.
You know how old people and young people play tennis? The young people are running around and the old people are just hitting the shot.
They're more strategic. Yeah.
They have more experience. So they like know what to do.
If I fought my dad, I'd call like a fake truce with him so that he thought we were cool, and then I'd hit him.
Good.
It's a very Rick thing to do, by the way.
Yeah, I know, it's not cool.
Very Rick thing to do. Rex would never do that.
Yeah. Or I'd hit him with the Mustang.
I'd rather, Daniel? I would rather the two teams. What would the two teams have to team up to fight? How big would that threat have to be for both teams to come together? That would be cool.
So this is from Carla. What do you guys do during breaks?
I think we would dance a lot. Remember this move, guys?
Yep.
That was a good one.
We eat a lot, lots of eating towards Crafty.
Yeah.
Lots of coffee. We love coffee runs. We love coffee.
We were always on the river or the lake. We went to water sources.
We would hang out outside of set too, and we'd go dancing. Once again, I guess we dance either way, but we love to
I know, dance on and off.
We danced at gas stations.
We danced at gas stations. Oh my gosh, we danced everywhere.
You know what we also love to do that people don't know? We would sneak into Neil and Chris's apartment
I never did that.
To use their pool because their apartment had a pool and ours didn't. And we would just we befriended other people who lived there so we could show up and use their pool. But they would also let us use it, like if they were there. But if they were like on set filming, we would just go.
It was all about It's just cutting out the middleman. Be like, we don't want to ask you anymore.
You guys are crazy.
I remember I was just talking to Chris about this. I remember there was a day where he was like on a phone call on his balcony, and I was just down there like having a drink with my hat on, and he saw me and he was like, and he called over to Neil. I was like, "Did you invite him?" He's like, "No, he just shows up now." And then they came down. Like, it was. I think I overstayed my welcome, but it's fine. We had waterfall ball. We invented an Olympic sport at that pool, because it had a very specially crafted fountain that was an L shape and then ran water down. So you throw a ball into it and you try to time it and then you jump and catch it. It's very difficult. I did it once the whole time.
You also taught the neighbors that game.
I think since we all dance so much, and obviously Amy's character, Amy is a ballerina, I think we should have a dancing sequence at some point where we all do ballet or something.
A musical episode, perhaps?
No, not a musical episode. Just like a random, like we're running into trouble. We go into this like ballet thing, and Barbara's the teacher, and we're just like pretending to be part of her class, and then we go and keep fighting crime.
I think that's a great season 9 idea. A great.
Or there's a villain that makes us dance, like in Midsommar, where like they can't stop dancing. Like, what's happening to us? And they like die of dehydration.
That's a great season 10 idea.
Noted.
So let me get to this question. Sabrina said, is there a chance Beth will get to work with an owl? We would really love to see that team up.
I would also love to see that. That's a question for Jeff.
There's always a chance. There's always a chance.
Always a chance. William asked, what would you all like to see next for your characters? Amy, are you still there?
I'm here. Jeff, I would be so okay with a superpower.
Season 11.
Yes.
Season 11.
Season 11.
At least give me a dream sequence superpower.
Well, there's a, well, I don't want to spoil anything for season 2, but because we're just breaking it right now.
Your superpower is your charm.
Aww.
Yes.
Aww.
Thanks,
Being
Leah.
a mama.
You're also a mom. Being a mom is totally a superpower.
Listen, I totally agree with all you, but I want to fly. Or
Noted.
What about the rest of you? What would you like to see with your characters?
I would like to see more of my castmates have like a love interest or a love story.
Ooh.
But like, it doesn't have to be me. Like, no, Jeff. Like, I don't know. It doesn't have to be me. It's just everyone else. It'd be great.
Boys are evil. Kidding. I would probably want just to see the dynamic of what happens with my family, just like how that comes together, just because the last time I spoke with them, they kind of was just like, nope, you're still in trouble. And then, so just to see where, like, I've been out a lot. I've been helping Courtney a lot, just to see like how that whole thing is developing.
I would love, besides the relationship stuff, because the teenage girl in me will always want that in TV shows, but also the rivalry with Shiv. I just love their rivalry. I think it's so interesting. I keep saying this, but it reminds me of like Kim Possible and Shigo, and it's so catty and dynamic. I'd love to see more Stargirl and Shiv.
That's definitely happening.
Oh, good. Great.
Cameron.
I really want time with my dad, with Lou Jr. I met him on set, and I think he's such a wonderful guy, and I watched him film these scenes with my younger me. But I think it'd be so cool if there was like a reckoning scene, even if it was in Rick's head, where he gets to deal with like confronting his father, and his father seeing who he is now. And I think that'd be super cool, like connecting with his roots, even if it's a ghost or
Tasnim has a cool question. Angelica and Yvette, both of you are women of color playing superheroes and representing your respective communities. How important is this to you?
Well, for me, I think that, it's a known fact that Latinos are underrepresented in television. So it's really important. I feel like I'm one of the only Latina superheroes on TV. So to be able to be Latina and be a superhero, that's extremely important. I feel like a lot of people say this, but it's so cool to have little kids look up to you and say, hey, like, that could be me, or like, you know, follow their dreams. So I think it's extremely important, and I'm so glad I'm representing for the Latinx community.
Love that. Completely agree, Yvette, and you're doing an amazing job of being the role model and inspiration to others. For me as a Black woman, I'm just so grateful that I even just like Yvette, we get the opportunity to do this. Growing up, I never saw like a live action Black female superhero ever. So I'm just really excited for every Black and brown girl really to be able to see themselves through our cast, whether it be through me as Beth or Yvette as Yolanda. So I'm just really grateful and honored that we both get to share an amazing responsibility to be representation for young girls who look like us, so they know that like one day I could also be a superhero, and that there is no limit and there is no ceiling on any of your dreams.
Oh, wow. And thank you, Jeff, for writing these great characters.
Yes. Thank you, Jeff.
They're all great. They're all great characters. We have a wonderful writer's room. They're wonderful characters, but you guys bring them to life. You really do, across the board.
Wow, it all starts with you, so thank you. And there's one more. What other members of the JSA do you want to see join the new JSA?
Amy Smart. Barbara. Bring Barbara in. That's what I want.
Love it.
I want to see some closure with this pink pin. Like, bring me Jakeem. I need it. For sure.
Yep.
Right.
I keep thinking of the Green Lantern just because the little lantern was flickering, like, you know, from the beginning. They go back to it a lot. So, I mean, that'd be cool.
I agree.
Know what the best thing about this is that I'm so excited we get to do season 2 with everybody, because we do have so many other things to explore with these characters and other avenues and other characters that exist out in the world to meet and introduce, and we'll do it, you know, the best way we can, and we'll do it at our own pace, but we will definitely be playing with things like the pink pen in season 2.
Will you be making a cameo?
Yeah, please. That'd be so fun.
Just like a suited superhero that shows up for 1 second and just.
I'm super excited to watch you guys and write you great scripts.
And maybe direct an episode too.
Yeah, we'll see all about the timing right now. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm just excited to. I mean, it's a dream come true to be able to do this again with everybody here. Like, it's so exciting to me. All that other stuff is like gravy, you know, just because I love you guys. It's been the best experience of my life. And I'm just excited I get to spend more time with you. It's going to be so fun.
Oh. Well, I think this is it. We need to thank the fans for getting everybody to season 2. So thank you guys for watching.
Thank you so much, everybody watching. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all so much for watching. We love you. Okay.
It's so nice to see you guys. Yay!
Nice to see you.
Too,
nice to see you.
Great seeing you guys.